All right, everyone, welcome back to Central Coast Disc Golf. This is part one from the final round of the 2023 Santa Cruz Masters Cup. I am your host, Nate Perkins, and joined here today with my good friend and local Shasta Chris.
Santa Cruz! Glad to be back. Looking forward to this final round.
We were just talking about how this is not on the national tour. It's not on the Disc Golf Pro Tour. Yet it's still one of the most prestigious titles I feel like you can win in our game right now.
I couldn't agree more, Nate, actually. It has been a part of the national tour in the past. It was one of the original tournaments of the national tour. The Disc Golf Pro Tour had events here, but the infrastructure just isn't quite there to be on par. But the course is what makes this event. The skills that you have to get just on the course and mentally to be able to get a Masters Cup title takes so much that I think all the players agree that this is one of the most prestigious events on tour. It's just been around so long.
So we've got a couple.
First on the tee from Woodstock, Georgia, Alden Harris.
We got a couple of young prodigy players, Alden and Gannon Buhr, of course, and then we have a couple of, I would say, locals. James, hailing from Santa Rosa, not too far away, north of the Bay Area, and then Jacob Blair.
Yep,
is from Santa Cruz.
Yep, I believe he lives in Scotts Valley, which is just right over the hill here.
Alden shooting a 6 under par yesterday to find himself tied for the lead.
Next on the tee from Urbandale, Iowa, Gannon Buhr.
Of course, Gannon is the defending champion. That was his first Disc Golf Pro Tour win, actually, the Silver Series last year.
Yes, it was. It'll be a significant memory and accomplishment, and for his, what I imagine is going to be a long career.
And it's actually Gannon's 18th birthday.
Yeah, he finally made it. He's an adult now. That's so cool.
Third on the tee from Rohnert Park, California, James Proctor.
James having the best year of his career thus far.
Yeah, we're getting quite used to seeing him on lead card final round coverage here.
It's only May, and he's already cashed for $10,000 out there on the tour.
Valley,
That's awesome.
California, Jacob Blair.
All right, the local boy. One little tidbit is no local to Santa Cruz has ever won MPO in the Masters Cup. Of all the great players over the years, even Nate Doss, he gave it a good run a few times, but never quite came up on top. So it'd be pretty darn cool if our local boy Jacob Blair could pull this one out.
That's crazy to think that a local's never won the tournament. It feels like such a local type of track, you know?
For sure.
There's a lot of unique local lines, and you got to know your spots. You got to know all the greens. So that's kind of a shock that no local has won this tournament.
In MPO. I know that Carrie Burlager, she won it a couple times in FPO over the years.
And this is a distance that actually Gannon has been very vocal that he struggles with. This kind of 130 to 180 feet. He was about to jump putt that, actually. Ends up going with the A2 up the hill.
Yeah, I know that when he can jump putt, that is his preferred method. It's just a matter of, can he reach with the jump putt here? Strong bid by Jacob there. As you can see, the pine needles and oak trees are moving around a bit. It's another little windy day here at De La.
So as these players tap in, we had 100 MPO players play this hole once a day for 3 days, and no birdies were carded on the first hole.
I lost that bet. I thought there'd be one. Yep. I'm pretty sure that this hole averaged over 4 point something. Yeah, it's definitely did for me.
Hole 2, par 3, 270, placed closer to 420. The right-hand backhand hyzer has to just barely miss that last tree on the left on hyzer, and it kind of has to flip up a little bit too if you really want to park this one. I actually think we've only seen one birdie on coverage through the first 2 days.
Yeah, I remember Cole, he got it into that acacia tree and made a nice circle's edge putt for his 2. Yeah, this is a very guarded one. Even if you do nail that hyzer, it's tough to get through that guardian acacia at about 40 feet.
It's a quality shot. Looking straight at the death putt. Oh.
Looks like Gannon's going back to the grenade again. He tried this first round.
Yeah.
He tried forehand second round. More like cover your head.
Oh, unfortunate little curl out from James. That's such a quality shot.
He kind of really hit the line you're trying to hit there, but the ground play really didn't favor the shot. It skipped straight left, even a little backwards.
That kind of gives us a good look at why it's not just a hyzer. That's so sad. Both of those. I actually haven't seen too many hyzers get around that acacia like that. And it kind of shows you why you want almost a little understability if you're throwing that hyzer, so you can try and land flat once you get around the corner.
Yeah, it's such a specific shot. With the understable disc, it's so easy to push it too far, though, and catch those back-end guardian trees.
You know, is this one of the original holes out here?
Well, the original holes were tone pole holes, so I don't think that, but this has been a hole since I can remember.
Okay.
For the 30-plus years I've been playing here, so it's definitely, we'll call it one of the originals.
This is one that I've actually never seen changed. It's always been that tee pad to this pin.
Yeah, we have one other pin that's actually would be, this acacia is right about circle's edge. It's just right there. We affectionately call it the toilet bowl, because it has a nice bowl where you can run a putt and it just catches your disc if you miss it. Whereas this one, there is, as you can see, a very severe drop off. So people are very choosy on the putts they run on this green. Okay, here we go. Hole 3. This is a combined hole from course 3 to 4. What we have is a 672-foot par 4 with about halfway. This tree on the left is a mandatory right. So people usually either choose to go low or high. Ideally trying to land somewhere around here would be the best to hopefully find some kind of alley to this very well protected green. Everything's sloping off to the right. I'd say this is probably playing the most difficult hole on the course for this tournament.
I would agree. Definitely the hole with the quickest potential for a single bogey, but potential for a larger number. Oh, now Alden really eased off on that mid-range shot, but he's right at that Mando.
Yep.
I think he might even be playing that so he can actually throw the hyzer on his next one.
Yeah, I don't know if he got into a position where he's going to have that shot, but it definitely looked like he committed to not throwing past the Mando.
James going destroyer here, and he's definitely looking high and fast. Oh, wow. That's about as good as we've seen.
Yeah, that got a majority of the way down there. This is so significantly downhill that if they actually get the disc through this airspace above, it'll really carry very far towards the pin. It's just so risky. Yeah, hitting an early tree on this one really starts the scrambling early. Looks like Gannon and his caddy are trying to find a nice landing zone because he basically needs to get to a point where he can make the Mando on the next shot.
So I'd stand like this then. My disc is here.
Gannon's caddy is actually the new CEO of Prodigy. Got to spend some time with Mark recently. Cool to see him out here getting involved and spending time with the players.
All right, looks like Gannon accomplishes his strategy there. Struggles continue on this one for Jacob. He's going to be throwing his fourth shot now. All right. That'll help his cause.
Oh, Alden in a really tough spot. Also forced to go with the roller. And you really need to pick a side that he's underneath that live oak over there.
Yeah.
It's such a low ceiling shot with like thick grass. It's really hard to get up and down from where he's at.
And lots of roots and rock croppings that you have to try to skip through. All right.
And that's a pretty obstructed putt. He's going to have a tough time finding his par. This is just the drive of the weekend on this hole. Wow. Proctor going to get one back.
Yeah, he'll have that left for his
actually.
Three. It's getting a great drive on this is just such an advantage. It really makes all the difference in this hole. Wow, Proctor's really picking up a lot on the card on that hole.
Yeah, just like that, we're going to have a three-way tie for the lead.
Boy, I was like trying to like hit like these, and I just barely missed that one.
All right, hole 4, 393, plays slightly downhill. couple of pines shape the initial part of this fairway. And then there is this low hanging branch from this oak tree that really turns this late part of the fairway into a slot that you have to feed a straight disc through if you want to look at the birdie here. Don't think we've seen a birdie yet on coverage.
I don't think so either. Yep.
It's a rare one.
This one's, like I mentioned before, has just gotten a little bit trickier over the years with that guardian oak tree. Yep, James knew it was a little too high anyways. Alden gets a little right, but gets through. That was cool. Did you see that butterfly flying to the screen there?
It can be tricky over there.
Yeah, it looks like they're dealing with a little bit of a headwind. It makes this straight shot so much more tricky to keep on a straight line because the headwind wants to just turn this disc over. That was a helpful kick.
Yeah, headwind is no good here because you already need to throw an understable disc because you're trying to like hyzer flip it and land flat.
Mm-hmm. And you don't have the luxury of getting it in the air very high. Wow. Gannon just having to get really creative with his upshot. That'll give him a look for his par. This is fading off a little bit on him. Gets dicey in there. These hanging branches are probably going to affect that putt. Well played by Jacob there.
Oh. Now Alden, no fear. Good pace on that putt, and he checks up.
Great hit by Gannon.
Big time putt right there to not go bogey.
Definitely. You know, every stroke matters. Par, bogey, birdie.
Now these Mach 7s have a different sound.
They do.
It's just kind of hitting that wall, and that was a good left side grab for Gannon, and this is a quality basket. I don't see too many unfortunate instances on these. We're going to get a good look at this. Bink, we got you. We got you covered.
We got you.
You're
That
here
was
in Santa
looked like a little bit of
Cruz.
left side.
Yeah.
Chains caught that well. No, I agree. They do have it's actually one of the best compliments that people have been giving the baskets once we changed from Mach X's to the 7s. Because the X, they had more of a dull sound with so many chains. And people going from the Mach 3s to those, they missed that ching, the ringing of the Mach 3s. And that kind of comes back here in the Mach 7. I don't know a disc golfer who doesn't love the sound of ringing chains.
Yeah, we see quite a few players go with this kind of flex route down the hill. Alden as well going with that flex with something overstable.
Yes, I agree. I feel like I've seen that be the shot more than I have any other years. And I think a lot of it is for distance control. It's gradually downhill, and for some people it's just hard to judge the pace on just a purely straight shot. Because ideally you kind of want to land this shot around circle's edge short, and then the ground play is going to feed you right to the pin.
And so far through 5, Gannon's release point is just slightly off. Just getting over the top of those last 2 mid-range turnovers. decent gallery there gathering in the street. I saw probably 60 to 80 people following along for this lead card.
Yeah, it's great. We love having the gallery out here. It makes it a lot easier for the gallery to navigate with the no crossing fairways and having this 18-hole layout. I think that was definitely one of the biggest pluses of it. There's some space for spectators to actually move around and watch without interfering with other cards. Yeah, we got a little bit of the final round blues going on here. It's like nobody's really coming out hot, really trying to gun for this title. It's course starts off tough, and it's showing its teeth. And here we have hole 6, probably our biggest birdie opportunity so far at 215 feet, slightly uphill. Most players are going to be kind of throwing a slow turned over putter just right of this leaning pine. Slide it right up to the basket. Who knows, maybe someone will get frisky and give it a little ace run. Just really try to avoid those right side. Whoa. Wow.
No way, Shasta.
Yeah,
I've never seen it. I've never seen a disc in the road.
That was definitely a misrelease with the worst repercussions. He might be better off re-teeing from there, depending on where it kicked in the road.
There you go, James.
Textbook. Oops, a little bit turned over for Gannon. Yep.
Kind of the third shot in a row that he's overturned.
Contemplating why he got a clap for a shot that he knows wasn't a good one.
Just a little fast on the footwork there from Jacob.
All right, so I guess Alden thought that re-teeing was a better option too.
You called it.
Yep.
Man.
That's more what he was looking for. Well done. Well, way to regroup and execute the shot. Oh, Jake leaving a little meat on that bone for his par. Yeah, I don't really think there was actually much line to a basket there for Gannon.
There we go.
Solid par save.
Get off that bogey train.
Yeah, good little smile.
So this is for James to take the outright lead here. And as you said, somewhat slow round. James just one down through 6. And we've got to mention that the chase card, who started 4 strokes back of our leaders, Barsby's on that card, and he is now 3 under through the first 6. So he's sitting at 9 under par. He's going to be tied with Gannon and Alden and just 1 back of Proctor as we head into the 7th.
All right, yeah. I knew that those people on the chase card were definitely in contention for this tournament. With this lead card coming off slow, it's not much of a surprise that they're making moves back there. And here we have hole 7. One of our notorious tunnel shots, really well protected, especially with that guardian oak in the middle. 366 feet. You don't really have the luxury of throwing it too high, so this is another one. You got to throw a low screamer to get there. Yep.
Not off by much.
Not off by much, and that really is, it's a tough scramble on that left side.
That looks... Ooh, it looked nearly perfect. Maybe just needed a hair more turn.
Yeah, it's such a precise shot to get through clean with that forehand.
Birdies are not easy to come by here at De La Shasta.
They are not. This is definitely the most difficult layout we've ever had for this tournament as far as birdies come.
Yeah. One of those courses, too, where it feels like when you get off your rhythm, it just becomes progressively harder. You start second-guessing your release point. It feels like you're chasing down these birdies, which is never a good headspace to be in.
Yeah, it's very true. It's difficult to get comfortable on this layout. It starts off so tricky, and then next thing you know, you're like, you have two still fairly difficult holes, but they're kind of your first opportunities for two, so maybe putting a little bit extra pressure on yourself to perform on them. But no, I agree, Nate. This is good old De La. Just look at these scores. I mean, we're in round 3, and the leader is at 10 under par.
Proctor putting with those alpacas. Hole 8. This is another one where you kind of feel the pressure to get the birdie. It's so short, 232. Basket is blind from the tee. You kind of have to peek out to your right if you want to get a look and try and get a distance read on this one. The difficulty here, though, is just staying on top of this green. It's very easy to go deep or get a little curl and roll off to the right side.
Yeah, you really want to be able to be on that mound to try to get a birdie, because any putt coming up from behind either has a steep drop off or limbs kind of protecting it if you go long. Looks like James accomplishes that task. Gannon's dirtbag giving you a little read on the crosswind they're dealing with. Looks like it's a right to left, which should just kind of slow down the hyzer on this forehand.
No.
Oh,
what an unfortunate little
he just kind
branch.
of caught that little bush up there. Threw him down off the mound. Gannon not really feeling the love on his birthday so far today. Ooh. Looks like that curled and slowed down for him. Just needs to get up a little bit. And that same little bush that got Gannon, Jacob was able to slide through.
Yeah.
Yeah. Kind of gets the bid and trickles off a bit.
Alden did check up nicely.
That's more what we're looking for from the lead card. 3 out of 4 birdies.
Quality 25-footer here from Jacob. And we are headed into what we've been calling the gauntlet.
The gauntlet begins.
3 incredibly difficult par 3s. This is just not a par 3. It's such a hard par 4 even.
I agree.
It's a I-5, 555 feet. We've seen a lot of players play this short shot into a hyzer.
Yeah.
And we've also seen some of our players munch on a driver and get it to skip underneath these oak trees. James is definitely looking big here. You need like 425 to really access the tree line.
On the backside, yes. You can probably about 375 kind of get on this early side and maybe potentially have a forehand gap up to the basket. But
Okay.
most of these guys are trying to get the furthest gap up in the mouth, which, yeah, I would say is definitely a little bit over 400 feet of distance.
And Alden really spins it, huh?
He
Doesn't
does.
look like he's ripping on the disc too much, and it just stays in the air.
Yeah, I think he thought he got a little high there, but it got through the mouth there.
There you go. Skip. Big skip. Oh my gosh, that's no chance. There's no chance. Go.
Anytime you throw your disc high here on this hole, you're just fingers crossed that you hear a little plump.
100%. I was holding my breath on that one. He kind of got a little nose up and floaty, and yeah, these oaks, with all the rain we had this year, they are so healthy, so much fresh new growth on these leaves. Sometimes I kind of feel like they like catching discs. Like the oak trees is kind of like the, we hit them all the time, and we're like, all right, well, we'll catch your frisbees.
I like that.
It's definitely part of the personality of De La.
It's funny that the trees that catch the best in the entire sport are at the course where they always play 2-meter rule.
It is. It's,
These are the best catching trees, Shasta.
Grew up playing the 2-meter rule here at De La, so I understand. I travel around more, and I know most of the country doesn't play by the rule, but honestly, this is one of those courses where it was part of the course design. People, if they want to go over the top and try to beat some of these shots, then that's the risk that they're going to take. And of any of the courses I've played of all the years, I think De La is definitely one of the ones where the 2-meter rule is just kind of part of the makeup of the course because it was part of the design. As frustrating as it can be sometimes.
And Gannon connects on another quality par putt. He's actually going to go with no birdies on this front, but he's still in contention. Just 2 back of the lead right now, Shasta.
Definitely, he's still in there. It's a matter now of just who's going to get hot.
Alden kind of turns his head at that putt, but a nice catch there. Low left side.
No pictures on the scorecard, they like to say.
Proctor's going to maintain a 1-stroke lead over Alden, and
Needed you for that putt. I couldn't reach it.
definitely not.
It's too far.
Sounds like Proctor's trying to ask for a little extra spin from Gannon for that putt.
This is a hard finish to predict, Shasta.
Yeah, I have no idea. This is great. Especially with Gannon waking up with the putter there. Maybe that's just what he needed to spur his round in the right direction.
You you guys for joining us here on Central Coast Disc Golf. It really is an honor to be working on this production.
It really is. I'm very honored. Thank you so much for asking me to be a part of it. This has been really fun, and I can't wait to see what happens on this back nine.
Yeah, we've got quite a few people in contention, including several people on that chase card who shot under par. So don't go anywhere, guys. We will see you soon for the final 9 holes of the Masters Cup.